Thanks for tuning in to the Promethean podcast. Your University of Wisconsin Superior newspaper is now 106 years old. Today, we will be reviewing the highlights of the April edition of the Promethean. I'm your co-host, Georgia Youngblood.
I'm Abby Hoffman.
And I'm Emily Tews.
Before we get started, we want to welcome our special guest for this edition, Dorian Ackman, who is a freshman member of the theater department. Thanks for joining us today. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much.
So how did you end up at UWS?
So I ended up here coming straight out of Superior High School. I've lived in Superior my whole life, and when UWS came and I seen some of the productions here, I knew it was a place that I wanted to go to.
Absolutely. How did you get started with theater?
It dates back to, I think, a summer school class I took going into high school. It was this, I want to say, it was almost like a rip-off version of Inside Out, where it followed this one person, and we played like all of their emotions going through their head during like a lunch time or something.
Yeah.
And we had face masks, of course, at that time, and it had all our character names written on them with a little doodle. And I remember going into that because I hadn't been, what's the word I'm looking for? I wasn't
Like involved?
I wasn't involved. Yeah, I wasn't confident in acting because I was used to being very kind of solo and just kind of on my own. But when it came to that, it like planted the seed of what I wanted to do. And here I was in a group of probably 20 people, all of them about half as tall as me because they're all going into middle school. And here I am going into high school with maybe like 2 other people. But it was a really fun time, and I'm really glad that I took that class.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of broke you out of your shell. And
Absolutely.
That's
and
awesome.
then we got into Superior High School Theater where we did Christmas Carol and SpongeBob musical. Those were really fun. But yeah.
Cool.
So speaking of the different roles you've played 2 different roles and characters this year and been in 2 different productions. How have you prepared for both those different roles, and how have those 2 experiences been, since they're very different characters? I've seen you play 2 very different people.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun getting to be diverse in what I do. With Dracula, it was a lot of, I mean, with every script, really, I like to read through it a lot and explore it and just see what the character does and kind of analyze it, right? And here and there, I'll do some research as well, especially if it tackles more historical characters like Jesus in Godspell. And from there, I don't know, preparing, it's not as hard as you might think, I would say. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know how to describe aside from doing lots of rehearsals, lots of repetition, and once I've got the lines down, exploring the character becomes a lot easier because then I don't have to worry about what I'm saying so much, and I get to worry now about how I'm saying it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Do you think you have like a specific acting method? Or is it, you know how there's different types, like method acting and...
Yeah, are
How
you
do you
like a hardcore method actor?
Yeah, how do you
Oh
get into
gosh,
character?
no. So how do I get into character? That's a fun one. So I don't want to say I method act because some people go pretty crazy with method acting.
Oh, yeah.
But I do try to get into the mind of the character. I go through scenes in my head. I put myself into scenarios, and then I kind of react in the way that I think the character would act. And then there's this thing called the moment before, where we think about, you know, how are we feeling, what just happened before I go on stage. And I always try to make that a very vivid image in my mind so that I can not only know how the character is acting in that little scenario, but how I can use that to fuel my entrance onto the stage and further continue my performance.
100%, yeah.
What's your experience been like at the UWS theater department compared to high school?
I love it here, honestly. That's not to say Superior High School theater was bad. In fact, I loved it there a lot. Lots of great people. Mrs. Gilbert was a lovely director, and I loved working with her. I loved all the opportunities she gave me. And we had a lot of fun shows there. And at UWS, it just feels more professional, I would say. Because it's, these are people who are trying to study these things. We're doing this for about 3 credits every show. And when you've got this more professional setting, there's a lot more seriousness behind it. There's a lot more expectation that, you're treating it with respect.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like it.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think your favorite character you've ever played was?
That's a
Or between
fun one.
just between Dracula and Jesus.
Between
even.
Dracula and Jesus?
How do you choose between Dracula
I
and
don't
Jesus?
know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, I can tell you what I like about both of them because it's really hard to say. And I've got such a limited thing of what I've done here at UWS so far. But Jesus was really fun because I get to kind of be my usual goofy self, but I also get to show a wide range of emotions throughout the whole show. I mean, I go from being like super excited and happy, and then I have these moments of like seriousness, anger, sadness. I cry on stage, super fun. So I like the range that I can do with that. With Dracula, I had never actually in my career been able to play a villain, and so it was really fun to do a villain character. And it was extra fun when I accidentally broke a glass on stage. And I love that moment because, not because I broke it. I felt bad that I broke the glass. It was a really nice glass. But when I had like set it down because I was angry at Jonathan, the character who was played by Jack, the top half just like fell off and there was shards that went all on the table. I had to, you've heard the saying, the show must go on.
Yep.
So I just said my line and I just kind of swiped it off to the side. And then I noticed that there was this spot on my thumb. So what I did was I don't remember if I got up or not. But I know that I very dramatically licked it off of my thumb. Because I'm a vampire.
Yeah. Oh my
So-
gosh. Yeah, that's perfect.
And then like I was rushed backstage. Like there was the crew was like rushing backstage. The moment I got off, they're like, "All right, here's a Band-Aid. Let's put that on." And then it came off later, and I was like, "Screw it, I'll be fine." But both very fun characters. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Talk
And-
about blood, sweat, and tears in a theater production.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely. Yeah, that's so cool that you've already, it's your first year and you've already had 2 lead roles in both of the plays and musicals we've done. Do you have a character that you'd want to play in the future? A dream role that you'd want to have?
I do theater, but I don't know a lot about musicals
No,
and
that's okay.
plays. But now that I've played a villain role, I've kind of gotten like a taste of it. I'm not sure if I want to if my dream is to play another one, even though they're very fun.
Yeah.
But I know I just have a lot of fun playing comedic characters. I like to be funny. I like to think that laughter is indeed the best medicine. And I like to make people smile and laugh. So that's why I laugh so much. So I think comedic characters are really what I like to do. But I'm open to really anything. I love trying out new things.
Yeah, so you said that you were taking this for about 3 credits per show. What are you majoring in?
I am majoring in theater and digital filmmaking, and then I've got a minor in writing.
Cool. What are you hoping to do with that after you graduate?
Ideally, I would like to be a film actor. I think that's the main thing I've wanted to do since I realized that this was my passion. And if I can't do that, then I want to at least make some pretty cool movies.
That's awesome.
Yeah, speaking of Godspell and having comedic moments, what are some of your favorite comedic moments throughout the show? I saw it twice. There are some really funny moments in that production.
My favorite funny moments or just favorite moments in general?
Either or both.
Okay. I'll go a funny one and a favorite sad one. I really like, I'll do the sad one first. I really like the callback to the handshakes at the end. I find it's what really gets my tears going right there, is seeing everybody else like teary-eyed doing their silly little handshake and then sadly going back. It's always what gets the waterworks flowing during the day and the performance. And my favorite funny moment, I really like just all the things I do, and I mess around with Gage, who played Judas. It's so fun working with him, and he's got such a lovely energy. I think our song "All for the Best" is probably my favorite fun moment because we put so much work into that darn hat trick, and we only ever landed it perfectly the first night, but it was still super fun, and we managed to cover it pretty well, I would say.
Mm-hmm. For those of you guys who haven't seen it, it's like a pseudo like tap dance number with like baton sticks.
Okay.
It is just as impressive as it sounds.
No,
I'm
that
not
sounds
kidding.
cool.
It was it's so cool.
Yeah. I'm sad I couldn't go see it. I busy schedule with work, but
For the people who
Yeah,
haven't
real.
seen it, do you want to describe the show a little bit?
yeah.
So, Godspell, I love the set. It's kind of, I don't want to say the homeless as like the main thing, but it's a group of underrepresented people who are living in this theater, in the Mannion. And the set it's got all these construction things around that we get to climb all over, and I have thankfully not fallen off of, even though I'm very prone to accidents. And it's very energetic. I believe Jess describes it as it's a kind of a retelling of the Gospel of Matthew, for anybody who knows about that. I personally don't, unfortunately, but it follows Jesus and his companions, his group, kind of through his storytelling and his teaching, and then ultimately he dies at the end, which is really sad. And the cast did an amazing job at showing how sad that was. But it's not just fun and games. It's not just sad. It's a lovely, lovely mix of the two of them, and they go so well together. And of course, you might have seen it in the advertising, but the composer of the music was the same guy who did some of the stuff of Wicked. So
Yeah, I did see that. That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a super fantastic, fun show. It really is. And there's so many funny references in it, too. I don't know how
Yeah.
you guys packed that many in there, but, like, Star Wars references, and there's a Jennifer Coolidge impression
I heard about
moment.
that.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Haley
there's
did
a
awesome
ABBA,
with
gimme, oh, God, what's the money song from?
Mamma
Mamma
Mia.
Mia.
money,
Yes.
money, must be funny.
It's
That's
so much,
awesome.
it's such a fun production. It really was.
Sounds
How
like
do you
it.
memorize all those lines, or do you improv some of it too?
I did have to improv some of it, straight up, especially that last little bit right before an intermission. It's just kind of like guided in the script. But with these, like the parables, I think, like the stories that Jesus had to tell, those are the hardest to remember because it's got such specific wording that if is done incorrectly, it might give off the wrong vibe. It might give off the wrong meaning.
Mhm.
And so, and I think one of the things that he says the most is, I tell you this. And I start so many paragraphs with, I tell you this. So I think it all just comes down to, yes, I repeat the lines and I try to ingrain them into memory. But a lot of it is feeling it out on the stage. Once I've got my movements, once the blocking is set up and I move to one spot, it's like muscle memory. And it helps me recall, like, okay, this is what we're doing in this spot, and this is what we're doing in this spot. And yeah, it's I wouldn't say it's fun to memorize, but it certainly pays off when it is, and it's really fun. Yeah.
Do you think you've learned things from other castmates that you met here at UWS?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody here in the cast has got such a profound passion for their craft and what they do. And everybody's so respectful and nice, and it's overall just a great community. I think I've learned to be like more open with people and more giving, I would say, because everybody is graceful in that regard. And of course, Gage with his lovely energy, I I can't get enough of it. It really shows me how I can just let loose up there, and people won't pay any mind. That's kind of what we're supposed to be doing.
100%.
So looking forward to, next year, what are you hoping to accomplish, or do you have anything specific in mind?
I hope that I can be a part of these awesome shows and these awesome casts, and I can show off some really fun things with the theater. Acting is my passion, and I just hope that I can do it. It doesn't matter where I do, as long as I can.
Wonderful.
I love that.
That's really good to hear.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I
Yeah,
think
of
that's all we've
course.
got.
Yeah, we're so excited to have you.
Thank you.
For those of you just tuning in, this is the April edition of the Promethean podcast. I'm your co-host, Georgia Youngblood.
I'm Abby Hoffman.
And I'm Emily Tews.
Did you know the city of Superior's own mayor is a graduate of UW Superior? Mayor Jim Payne started at UWS after serving in the United States Marine Corps. He graduated in 2007 with a major in history and a minor in sociology. He went back to school to get his master's degree in advocacy and political leadership from the University of Minnesota Duluth. While at UWS, Payne was a big part of the Student Government Association. Through his efforts, along with other members of SGA, the Yellow Jacket Union and Swenson buildings were built. He is also an avid supporter of SGA today because when he was a student, the mayor told him that students should not have a say in what goes on because they are not taxpayers. Payne wants to ensure everyone knows they have a voice in the city regardless of age, which is especially why he makes it his mission to visit schools, specifically 5th graders, as that is where he first had an interest in politics.
The American Red Cross Northland chapter came to UWS on March 25th to be able to teach students about CPR and how to administer it. Along with the class, they also gave students the chance to write letters to service members.
UWS has a new student government president. Abel Bogale defeated Brett Hesselberg on March 30th. As an international student, Bogale wants to build more of a sense of community around student government that makes students feel more comfortable going to the association about concerns and ideas. The Veteran and Non-Traditional Student Center held a Bob Ross coloring event on March 20th. Students had the opportunity to unwind and pick a painting to color, taught by a certified Bob Ross instructor. They could also watch episodes from The Joy of Painting. This was the VNSC's first craft event, and they are hoping to do more.
Your very own student newspaper wins 7 awards at the Wisconsin Newspaper Association Foundation 2025 College Better Newspaper Contest. The staff won first place in lifestyle and environmental coverage, second in use in multimedia, and third in news photography. They also had honorable mentions in club and intramural sports stories, technology coverage, and column writing. Take a look at this month's print edition for more information. Viva Latin Association is a brand new club on campus aiming to connect Latin Americans on campus and promote cultural diversity throughout the community. The club president, Dominica Salgado Cevallos, decided to create it after exploring multiple clubs but wanting one specifically to embrace Latin Americans. Their first event is April 24th from 6 to 8 p.m. This event is called Fake Quinceañera, and Salgado Cevallos hopes it will be the club's staple event each and every year.
Superior Days of Giving was back March 24th through the 26th. While the event raises funds for many aspects of the campus community, Superior Athletics significantly benefits from donations. Each team asks for 2 items, and the community can donate to help teams reach their goals. The Superior Alumni and Friends Foundation reported they had 301 donors and raised over $146,000 for students. UWS's choir program and Lake Superior's college concert choir came together to put on American Voices, celebrating 250 years of American choir music, inside the Thorpe Langley Auditorium. On March 19th, the choir directors for each school, Dr. Michael Fuchs and Cal Metz, shared how much they enjoyed the partnership.
March was Women's History Month, and Superior's Gender Equity Resource Center, also referred to on campus as the GERC, hosted several events to commence the importance of the month. They hosted Love Creamery, which is a local female-owned business. Gender and Sexuality Program Coordinator T. Wademan also reached out to the library to ensure they had equity resources available for all events.
For those of you just tuning in, this is the April edition of the Promethean podcast. I'm your co-host, Georgia Youngblood.
I'm Abby Hoffman.
And I'm Emily Tews. This month's edition of the Promethean brings back a newly becoming fan favorite, your regular Dear Dad and College Cousin advice column. For those of you who want your dad and college cousin to answer questions, please feel free to continue to send in questions either to the Promethean's Instagram page at UWS Promethean, or email us at promethean@uwsuper.edu. Me, your college cousin, Emily Tews, and your dad, BJ Bethard, are continued to be really excited to answer any dying questions you have and are excited to share our different unique perspectives on your life's issues. This month's column covers how to stay organized throughout your classes.
Now turning to sports. March is National Athletic Trainers Month, which is a time to honor the sports medicine staff at the University of Wisconsin-Superior. UWS is home to 4 athletic trainers with 1 set to join in the fall, and 2 team physicians. Every day, student athletes can go to the athletic training room for rehabilitation and treatments. The trainers support athletes in every step of their journey, whether they are going through an injury, coming off of one, or just continuing rehab. Athletic Director Nick Bursick praised the sports medicine staff, crediting them for being a big part of the student-athlete experience at UWS. Without their dedication, every practice, game, meet, and tournament wouldn't be possible without the care and preparation provided by athletic trainers. The men's club soccer program will have a brand new head coach as they head into their 2nd season. UWS welcomes 2018 men's soccer alumni Brandon Johnson back to Superior. He has coached youth and high school soccer in 2 Harbors and at Lake Superior College for the past few years. Johnson's biggest priorities for the upcoming season includes creating an identity for the program and making the athletes feel welcome. March 17 marked the first ever practice in school history for the women's lacrosse team. The 2026-27 school year will be the first season for the new squad. Only half of the current roster has prior lacrosse experience. However, most of them are members of other athletic teams on campus. They've been practicing twice a week, learning the fundamentals of the game. Head coach Hilda Newtonen said she is happy with the progress the team has made so far and is excited about the upcoming season. The 2027 schedule includes approximately 15 to 17 games, including a spring break trip to Chicago. Looking ahead to the upcoming home schedule, this week is a busy week for the Yellow Jackets. Softball will have their home opener against Northwestern on Wednesday at 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. after weather rescheduled several home games. They play Thursday at 12 p.m. to finish the series against Northwestern. Friday, men's tennis will begin at 1 p.m. and women's tennis will start at 4 p.m. Both teams play against Crown College. Softball will also play Crown at 4 p.m. on Friday. On Saturday, track and field will be hosting their first ever meet at the Superior Choice Credit Union Stadium. Softball will celebrate Senior Day on Saturday with a doubleheader at 11 a.m. and 1 p.m.
Thanks so much for tuning in to the April edition of the Promethean podcast. I'm your co-host, Georgia Youngblood.
I'm Abby Hoffman.
And I'm Emily Tews. Make sure to continue to keep up with the Promethean and all of the news that we're getting to students and campus. Pick up this month's edition of the Promethean on one of your local newsstands. Check out our Instagram at UWS_Promethean, or check out our website at uws-promethean.com, along with making sure to email any stories or questions you have to the Promethean email at promethean@uwsuper.edu.